Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. My name is Deja, and as a self-taught artist, I had a pretty proud moment the other day looking through my sketchbook and realizing how much I'd grown with my pet portraits lately. And honestly, I'm ready to do the same for my landscapes. So that is my goal as an artist for this year, and I'm excited to be able to start off with these new colored pencils from Ohuhu. They kindly sent me a set of 72 of their new Hawala oil-based color pencils that they just came out with, and I'm really excited to include them as a part of the core foundation for this new series I'm working on. Now, first thing you need to know about this series is that I actually had the idea for it like 2 years ago, but I didn't feel ready to pursue it until now. Long story short, 3 years ago when my dog Amelia passed, I had a really hard time with her loss. No matter where I went in the house, on a hike, in the car, I swear I could hear her little collar right behind me all the time. And as you can imagine, it was really painful at first, but eventually I came to recognize it for the blessing it was. When I remembered one of my favorite myths from my Percy Jackson era as a kid. So in this myth, there's a man, absolute lover boy, whose wife passes away. And he decides that he's gonna go all the way down to the underworld to talk to Hades and ask if he could bring his wife back home and talk about all the benefits of it, blah, blah, blah. Now, he's not sure that Hades will say yes because Hades is known for being a bad dude, but he's willing to do absolutely anything for his wife. So he takes his boat and he rows down to the underworld, and then from there rows through the river of Styx and to Hades' castles, where he asks if he could please bring home his wife, how much he loves her, and how he simply could not live without her. Surprisingly, Hades actually agrees to it with one rule. She can go on the back of his boat, but he cannot look back until they get back to the human realm. He, of course, agrees and starts rowing his little boat as fast as he can back through the river of Styx to the human world. And as he's rowing back, he notices how quiet it is, and of course he's gonna talk. He doesn't want it to be awkward or anything, but his wife never answers him back. Then he starts to realize how light the boat is, which is weird if a whole other person is now in the back of the boat, but he really doesn't want to lose his wife, so he doesn't look. But as he continues to row down the river Styx, he starts to get really anxious and thinks about what a fool he would look like if he made it all the way back to the human world and his wife wasn't there because Hades had tricked him. So because he didn't want to look like a fool, he decided it was worth trying to look back. And when he did, the last thing he saw was his wife's smiling face as she faded away back to the underworld. So, of course, he goes back to the underworld, starts fighting with Hades. Why would you do that? And Hades says a deal's a deal. Story gets sadder. Hades gains one extra soul that day. But as a kid who had already lost two of her grandparents, what I took from the story is that you can't always see them, hear them, or feel the weight of them, but the ones you love can be right there behind you, and you who know they are there might not even believe it. So, I don't know, something about it was really soothing for me as a kid and continued to soothe me when I remembered it as an adult, having lost my first dog. And that led me to think about this new series that I want to work on, which is kind of reminiscent of the myth. It's about all the places that I would take my dog Amelia if I had one last boat ride with her around the world. I don't know. Really, these places don't exist because this possibility, this reality obviously doesn't exist. And I just like to make them as whimsical and dreamy and beautiful as possible because that's all the spaces and places that I would want to take Amelia if she were here with me. So today I am working on this series piece in my sketchbook, but I hope to eventually get it onto an actual canvas the same way I did for the first piece in the series. Now, that's not to say that I am done with the first piece yet, but I am working on the final details and I'm really excited to share the final result with you guys and hear what you think because it's the first piece in my series and I'm so nervous and Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit more about this sketch and the Ohuhus. So you already noticed that I did almost an underpainting on this sketch using a pink alcohol marker from Ohuhu, and I think I really like this method because first of all, I love that when I actually lay down the pigment from the color pencils, if there are any spots that's missing color, it's already filled up by the color pink, and that's what I want to see in my art. Obviously, you can change the color to whatever suits you, but that's definitely one of my favorite practices when I'm painting. So I like to try to mix it up and see what works for painting, what works for traditional drawing, what works with digital art, and see where I can combine skills and ideas to create a really different look. Now, one of the lessons that I really want to take from my painting practice to then bring to my traditional art practice is relying more on color than I rely on details. And by that I mean I want the colors themselves to tell a story. Right now I'm using these light yellows, pinks, greens, and purples. And honestly, first of all, let's talk about how well they blend together. Ohuhu, you really got that secret sauce. But you can tell that what you're seeing here is a reflection of the clouds in the sky onto the water. And that can be seen through the use of color and not necessarily through the use of detail. And honestly, I think that's a really key part in battling my perfectionism this year, specifically with landscapes. I really do want to let a larger part of the story be told through color and not through details. So yeah, we want colorful, broad strokes, and less anxiety. Now, in this sketch, this will be actually the first time that I'm attempting to use green. Normally, I exclusively use the colors purple, orange, yellow, pink, and maybe the occasional blue that's truly just a purple. But I decided for this sketch, I wanted to try to see what it would look like in green, simply because this is the realest place I've ever taken Amelia in this series, in my sketches. That little house that you see is my little townhouse, just taken and placed in this fantasy, I don't know, garden, brook. I don't even know what to call it. It's a happy place, okay? Because of course, one of the very first places I would take Amelia if given the chance is right back home. To take everything that I took for granted and really, really live in it and enjoy every single moment. Tossing that ball until my arm got tired, giving her belly rubs, feeding her her favorite snacks, all the things I wish I could give her, and to let her know that there's always a place for her at home. So, of course, it needed to be one of the very first things that I drew and eventually painted in my series. And I am just grateful that I have the ability and the drive to create these worlds where I can continue to love and show Amelia all the spaces and places I'd take her even now that she's gone. So yeah, the next step is just actually mastering landscapes to draw things that I find respectable and to pay homage the way I want to. So I'm excited for this year. I'm excited to learn and to grow and to fail too, you know, because like there's really no way to get better at anything without failing time and time again. So I'm starting off with the mindset of there are going to be things you're not great at. There are going to be things you need to grow at. And trust me, doing this sketch, I definitely realized that, as bridges and rocks are things I need to learn and grow at, as well as maybe trees. I really liked my flowers though. Again, the color is there. I'm obsessed with all of it. I think I just need to find how to abandon the outline. But I mean, this is again just the sketch for the actual drawing. I mean, not drawing, hello. This is just the sketch for the actual painting, in which there will be no lines. So it's fine that I'm doing the lines for now as my little crutch. I will grow and move past it eventually, but I'm willing and patient with myself to wait when it comes to my growth process. I'm not in any rush. I know that everything's happening in divine right timing, and I'm excited, I don't know, to just continue to grow with you guys this year and to continue to share all the things that I've learned and all the things that I continue to create. whether that is a landscape, you know, kind of dedicated to my journey with Amelia, or whether that's just another puppy eating a box of cake, who knows. Yeah, I'm really excited to continue to grow with you guys this year. So if you have anything that you want to see, anything about color theory, different techniques, definitely mention it in the comments below, because again, there's nothing I love more to do with you guys than to just grow on our art journeys together. So until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.